Hello everyone, this is Peggy from the Pearl Forest, and I'm finally getting back to this collage. I had to put it off during August and some of September too. Remember, we started with the green part down here, and we have the goes all the way up to here. It's quite big, it hardly fits into my camera view. Let me toss that out of my way. Okay, so we're gonna do, remember we're gonna do the swing up here. I kind of drew on here where I was putting it. I think it was like here. So what I'm going to do is the tree one day, so you can see how I do that. But I'm going to, this die cut was made to go on the edge of scrapbook paper, but I'm going to widen the other side of the trunk and kind of finish the tree. I will put it on a piece of paper to enlarge it, which I'll be doing before long. But I'll leave it here for a second to show you what I'm thinking. So I've come in here and it's going to be like a cottage garden leading to this little meadow where the swing is. So the plants will be kind of along here, but they will not block the swing. So I'll need to cut this part down a little bit. And then I have a little path leading out to this grassy area, and that's approximately where it'll go. And then this part will be cottage garden flowers. There'll be a little path that kind of heads off here. I don't know if you can see this in your picture or not, but I've kind of made this the edge of the plant area. And let me take this off for right now. I will enlarge it on a piece of paper, in the near future. So then I'm going to have a tree lined area that's kind of comes up in this area, and then there's some lower hills, and then there are some mountains that are coming up, and then this will be the sky. So what we're going to do for today is work on the sky, and I don't know if I can get it. Wish I could lay it down that way, but I can't. So we're going to lay it this way. Well, I'm going to have to do it upside down so that you can see it, and I'll try to do it in such a way that you can see it. So I'm going to get a hard line where the mountains are. I need to do the sky first as the farthest away, and then I'll do the mountains and work my way down. I have some scrapbook paper that I've done some writing stamps on it, some on sort of a gray color, and this. The gray will just help start define the mountains. I've kind of tried to get some various colors that will make up our sky. And I harvested this collection of magazine paper. And they're various colors. I'm getting them out of my box because otherwise I will have glue in my box. So we will start by saying hi, and I hope you're having a good day, and see how we can define our edge. We're going to have it be lighter and get darker near the mountains. And I think I'm first of all going to just put a little layer on the edge of the mountains to define where they are so that I can see them clearly. And it'll be built up some more, so it'll stand forward. So we'll start by just tearing up some paper to use to make the mountains. And the little bit of stamping is just to give it a little texture. I have, this is the shelf liner that made these prints. And this did not come out clearly. Oh, there's some music notes too. Did not come out clearly because I thought I had a stamp with the cursive, but what I really have is, I think some kind of embossing folder. But I made use of it and tried to make it like a stamp anyway. We will, as we add additional layers, we will add more stamping and textures in there as well. I don't really want these hard edges, at least not right here. So we'll start with that. We have our watered glue. In our container here. And a kind of stiff, cheap paintbrush. We have some additional water and some additional glue if we need it. Hopefully this will be enough. Okay, so my mountains are kind of up here, and these can be adjusted. Oops, I'm painting on the sky. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll just paint on both sides of the line. These can be adjusted as we go along. So like more sky can come in a direction or more mountains. And I will make that go over the edge. We need to make this a little further down here. Apologize for taking so long to get back to this. Part of it is I had other projects to do, but part of it also was I needed to process some more magazines and do some more painted paper. I thought I had blue painted paper here, but I don't. Either I didn't grab it or I don't have the right colors at this point. But we have many more layers to go, so that's fine. Okay, we need to get some more shape up here at the top of our mountains. Oops. I'm blessed to live in an area with some very beautiful mountains for inspiration. They currently have some snow on them. They, a lot of the year, have snow on them. I think we're going to have a very short fall and move into a winter. So we already have some snow up there. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have more before long. I think I turned that one over, but that's okay. Like I said, this is just the beginnings of making sort of the top of the mountains so I can see where they are. Let's see, I think I'm going to put this one here. That seems to be the shape that fits. You can let me know in the comments if you do collage or have tried collage or what you think of collage. I just enjoy taking scraps of paper and making something new. Where did my mountain go? It goes down here. So you can see that I put the sky down a lot further than I later decided I wanted it to be, but that's okay. It just makes, oh look, we're gonna have a little bit of bumpy right there. That's good. It just makes it more interesting. too much of a bump. Let's see. Because when you do layers, you have like there's a little blue peeking out. You know, that may or may not stay there, but it just adds interest. Like there's a little smidgen of blue. Okay, we want to have some definition between the mountains and the sky, but there really isn't a vast difference in color because the clouds can often be darker near the mountains. Let's see, put this one here. It's always nice, I think, to wrap them around the edges. It makes the finished artwork nicer. Oops, that's a little more than we need. And sometimes I use my finger to spread the glue and to smooth it out like that. So we can put a little more in there, maybe a little more in here, just to give us a little more definition. And a little up here, and I don't know, maybe just like that, since that's how big our piece is. And wrap that around. Okay, so that kind of gives us an idea of where our mountains would be. So we can get to the sky part. I brought in some baby wipes for my gluey fingers. Unfortunately, they are not very moist. So I'm going to, give a little dribble of my water on them. Or a lot of dribble of water, including on my canvas. It's a little too wet. Dry this off a bit. And I wish I had a bigger area to work. Like, I don't think you can see all the way over to this edge on my table. Okay, I'm gonna put this color up here. And I think I'm not gonna use that one. Now it's gonna be lighter up at the top, so why don't we go up there. We also have these magazine ones. So let's just put some of this down and some of this. And we'll get some more out if we need it. This has little flowers on the back. We're not going to do that. Now these will have, if I tear it like this, it'll have a little bit of white, which I'm fine with. I'm going to be adding clouds in the sky as well. Okay, so let's put on some magazine parts. Here's a lighter color that would be good. I think I'll just put a nice layer. Looks like I got some ink on there. I stamped a little bit up here as well. Not sure whether that's a pen or what I did up there, but like I said, that's fine. Sorry for this bouncing. It's sitting on my camera tripod some. Okay, so I'm just going to scatter some of these along the top so I can wrap them over the edges and kind of get some of this color up here. Actually, I guess I want to cover the darker ones more. And I know this has a little bit of writing on it, but that's fine. And let's see, maybe some down here. Let's put these on. And I did leave the straight edges, but like I said, that won't matter soon. Okay. Oops. And just dip the finger in to keep your finger moist if you're going to rub these on. You probably don't want a lot of wrinkles under them, and you want them to be adhered pretty good. Okay, this is light also, but here's some good light. I am not sure how much paper I'm going to need at this moment. I very likely am going to have to harvest some more and maybe add some good painted paper to the top. But I want to lighten this area and then a little light around the mountains. But I think this color I'm going to put down near the mountains more. And this is from a clothing magazine, and I just was going to take this part off. And leave that for something else. Okay, let's put some of this here. I'm trying to scatter it around so you don't have too much of all the same thing in one area. It makes it a nicer balance. Okay, put this one on. I know this isn't what a lot of people think of when they think of collage. They're thinking more of straighter pieces and the kind they would put on journal card type thing. Or they're thinking where you take people and extra big sunglasses and maybe a car, or they're flying on a spaceship, and you just put a whole bunch of objects from magazines and books together to make a collage. Whereas I'm just using the torn paper to make the collage. Now this one has multiple colors in it. Right now I'm going to take the lighter color and put it out here. I'm not sure why I have this more like browny color in here. Sometimes going in this direction is good because that's how you see the movement in the sky. A lot of times is the wind patterns blowing the clouds and stuff. Yeah, I think these were meant to be clouds eventually. This will take several more layers in order to get it done. Okay, let's see. We have this lighter color. Oops. And what else do we have? Well, we did have this lighter color. Definitely want to cover up this brown piece here. Oops. Well, we rotated sideways, but that's okay. A little thick on the glue right there. You want to get under the edge. And you want to get, not too much glue, but at the same time enough to soak into the paper so it can become one with your canvas. Okay. Let's go back down to this area for a moment and maybe put some of this kind of purpley color, which is the darker of the sky along here. Now this I'm going to do fairly thin strips, also defining the mountains. So I'm just going to put some glue along there and then just tear strips that can kind of conform to the shape. Also still getting this kind of a movement as well. And if you don't have a big enough piece to do all of it, you want to make sure that you sprinkle it around so that you don't have all of it like at one end, one big spot. You want to have it going along. Oops. And sometimes when you're first looking at it at a different stage along the way, you might think it's not looking like you want or something, but as you go along, hopefully it'll start looking more like what you're trying to achieve. I don't know that you can see at this end here where I'm doing this one. Try to move it a little bit. Using the torn shape of my paper to kind of help shape the mountains. This is a lighter piece. I'm going to stick it up a little bit. Let's see. So we need something in there and in there. Gonna have to paint over these pretty soon. That's pretty small, but there. Let's see. Try to keep it moved so you can see what I'm doing. missed some spots. Pretty good. I think we just have this one here. Oops. And we'll just stick that one in there. Nope, I guess we didn't have anything over that one. Oh well. So now we'll secure all of these. And I know there's not firm definition at the moment between the mountains, but it's starting between the mountains and the sky. Okay, let's see. Here we have, and some of the mountains will have snow like the top of that. Here we have some more of this kind of blue. We'll just put out here. And you might think what I put down underneath here wasn't useful because I'm covering a lot of it up. But it was a good start for what I'm doing. Gonna need a lot more lighter color. There's some. I'm trying to get this top up here as light as I can. If you observe the sky, it is lighter farther away and up in the atmosphere. Let's see. I don't know if you're seeing this corner where I got my finger at the moment. Okay, let's see. I think this paper, I think I'm going to, even though I like the colors, I'm not going to use it because it's so stiff. I think this would be nice down below here. And then also I was going to do kind of some purpley colors in there as well. When you tear paper in one direction, it tears really easily, or not very easily, and then when you tear it in the other direction, it tears really easily. So depending on whether you want more straight pieces or really jagged, you can determine which direction you want to tear it. I think for right now, I'm going to go with more straight. Tear a bunch of these up. This is from a magazine. I think it might be ice, but I'm not positive. Okay, now I don't want these real long, so I will shorten them. And color-wise, I think I'll put them through this region. Somehow I have black or something on there. Oops, there it is. All right, so I'm gonna kind of try to make a sort of line across here, defining this color in this region. Now this darker part, let's put it whoops, over there because it's a little too dark for up here. I'm kind of staggering them so that they're spread out a bit, not all in one place. Whoops, that does not have glue. Let's put these down. It does have glue. That one does. I did not get up this far. What I do with my collage is sort of a blending of the papers, their color and their tone and their texture, to become something different than what they originally were. So they might have been a tire or ice or a mountain or a tree or somebody's dress, but now they're something else. It's like the tree. I found that hair actually works really nice to make a tree, the wood part. So it was hair, and then it's going to become a tree. All right, so that I don't want to go up too high in that way, so I'm going to actually fill in some more down here, and we'll, you know, blend it in some later, especially when we add clouds. That's kind of a big gap there. And I don't know, can you see this here? And I won't be showing all of this collage on camera because that's just too long of a time period. Whoops, that's really dark. Put that in there. But I will periodically check in and kind of show you certain parts of it. So like today, we're showing how to define the edge between two parts of the scene, I guess we would call it, and how to start blending, you know, for the sky and stuff. I guess we'll put that there. Oops, there's still one more little piece of this we can throw in here. So to do something like this, you can observe the scenes around you to see how the lights and the darks and the shades work. You can take some reference photos. You can look in magazines or online, get kind of an inspiration. I am going to use some white part of the napkins over parts of things too to kind of blend them. Okay, I know that's like a harsh at the moment edge, but that's okay. It won't stay. This really dark part we don't need. So here's some more. I think this would be just good in the middle here. Maybe on some of these darker ones. I decided after I started that I didn't want to be quite as dark. So I'm toning those down. And that will be put into clouds later, when I form the clouds. Not like the original forming of them, because I am not capable of that. Let's put some of this scrapbook one out here. It's nice and light. Okay, we'll start on this corner where you can see it right now, and then I'll try to move it so you can see the other part. You need to keep wrapping them over the edges. Okay, so I'm going to put another light layer of my watered glue up here. I know a lot of people would use like matte medium or something like that. For me, that's just too much of an expense that I don't feel is really needed. Now this is stiffer, so it's a little harder to wrap around. You need to get it very moistened. Then you can get it on there. Can put some on here as well. Let's see. Put some in this darker area. And this is adding, you know, not only an additional light color, but because I stamped on it, we're adding texture and interest as well. Oops. Let's see. You can look through your magazines, junk mail, scrapbook paper. You can paint your own paper, construction paper. You can have it stamped or stenciled. You can watercolor over some. When we get to the green, I'm going to show you, I'm going to watercolor over some to adjust the color to what I would like it to be. Let's see, put some lighter in there and in there. Some up here. You can see it takes a lot more paper than you might think, but you can also see as it's starting to blend. I don't know if you can see that corner or not. I think you can. Oops, the shape will fit this way nicely. And if you have a little bit of other ones showing through, that kind of just adds to the interest. And if you have like the magazine and the scrapbook paper that are just a little bit different, that makes it nice too. Okay, this is a little dark up here. And where do I want this? I think maybe down here. That. Okay, we still have some more of that, but we also have this. We could go ahead and put that white out there because it'll be useful for clouds for later. Usually the sky, you know, it can be a solid-y color, but often it's a mixture, a blend, sort of. And it kind of depends on whether you have clouds or whether it's more a solid, oops, put this over here over the dark part. little piece stuck on my finger. Find a spot for it. That kind of worked. I put some glue on the back. Kind of reminds me of paper mache, sort of. Okay, let's see. Why don't we build our cloud a little bit to more of a cloud shape. There. Okay. Oops. Put some more of this down here. Don't want to leave bumps of glue anywhere. All right. It's good to keep your hands kind of wiped off because otherwise it's hard to tear paper. Okay, this one, I think we don't want the little black spot or this brown spot. This is a thicker piece of magazine, so it might be like a cover or something. Okay. And little speckles here. I think this is water. Probably turbulence in the water a little bit. And it makes nice clouds. Okay. How about this one? And we'll tear off this white strip. My fingers are very gluey. Somewhere in here I have an airplane in the sky. Is it on this one? No, down there somewhere. And I thought that might be fun to just put into the sky. Oops, we're sticking here. Okay, so this is not quite as light up there, so I'll bring it down a little bit. I don't want to do the whole thing with glue at once. Okay. Just experimenting with this. I don't usually do this, but it does seem to be working. All right, so this is too dark here. And this is too dark. That's kind of brown. Originally, if you go back to my earlier video about this, you'll know where this canvas came from and what was on it. It's a recycled canvas. See, these long pieces like that are nice. And here's a letter, but I'm gonna leave it in there for now. Okay, and here's the other part. Just a very light coat of glue. Of course, you know this means that I'm getting quite a coat of glue on my hands. So much it's hard to tear. I'm tearing in that opposite direction besides. Okay, we're gonna lose the T. And I think for the most part, this kind of aqua colored background is not something we're keeping. I like to use napkins also in my collages, but I don't. I might use some down when we get to the cottage garden, but I don't know if I'll use any up above because I don't really have good napkins. They're either really solid or there's too much design and pattern that would distract from what we're trying to do. Let's see. Put this in here. And use that brown piece. I need a wetter wet wipe. All right, so if you can see kind of how we are down at that end and how we are at this end. The sky is starting to come together more. Let's see, we have more gray. Oh, here's my airplane. I wonder if we could put it in there in such a way that we wouldn't lose it. Proportion-wise, it's probably, you know, well, it is out of proportion, but I still think it would be fun to put in. We'll fly it down lower just to see if people notice. Okay, we don't need this color. My hands are so sticky, I'm going to go back to just painting on here, I think. Okay, let's see. I think we want a little less. Did I not paint there? I don't know. Can you see that? It's darker blue. I'm going to tone it down. Leave that on. Put some of this here. We could have gray skies where I live, or we could have blue skies. I know some people think it always rains here. That's not true. There are many, many, many days we do not have rain. It's just that we do have a fair amount of rain. But I think once you live here for a while, it just becomes the way it is. And I think that people that visit or move here notice it a lot more than people that have been here for a long time. Up here. Still have a lot of darker blue here. Let's cover that up. We do have more scrapbook paper that we could put in. And I'm not looking to make this look like a painting per se or a photograph. I guess it's kind of like a painting, but not like a photograph. So there'll be some realism and some just creative license. Sorry if I get quiet. Just glue and paper. Forgot to look at my clock to see how long we've been here. For me, time can go by very quickly, and I don't really notice it. So I'm probably going to stop soon at where we are, and we can check back another time and you can see where I left off and where we're going next. I think we might work on the tree and the mountain some next time. I won't attach the tree to the canvas for a while, but I want to get it kind of sized and such so that I know where actually on the canvas it's going to be. And I might put a little bit down in the garden. But it'll be the lower layer. I think we have some really dark blue that I don't think I want here. Here's some good light. And a crashed car. Okay. Yeah, this would be good in the kind of where I've determined we're going to have some clouds. This plane is flying under the cloud layer. Oops, that's sticking to my finger. Okay, puff that up there. More down this way. Sometimes the clouds sit in here in long, kind of billowy shapes. Sometimes they're just rows and rows of puffs. Sometimes there's just like one or two somewhere, and the rest is just sky, possibly nice blue. Let's see, how do we want this one to sit in here? Maybe like that. Looks like we got, I hate to lose that, but maybe that's not really as much of a cloud there. Get this one to spread over in this direction. I need to round that off. They don't have hard shapes like that. That's what we got for right now. And this is something that a lot of collage picture people would do, is to put objects in. So I'm kind of happy with my little airplane. Oh, what do we have else down here? I think only other one, although this could maybe be some, this could definitely be some, and then this could be more in there too, but I think I'm going to let this dry, so I think I'm going to let you go for right now and let that layer dry and settle in, and then we'll see where we go from there. And I might, while I'm off camera, I might do some more on the sky, and I might do some more on the mountains. Remember, they're going to come down about to this line here. And then there's going to be a hill a little bit showing below that, and which will be green basically. And then there'll be a tree line below that. And then they'll be down to lawn and the cottage garden. So anyway, this is Peggy at the Pearl Forest. Thank you for joining me for this collage art video today. And I hope you enjoyed seeing some of my progress on it and my process. And check back to see how it's coming along. Thank you. Have a great day.